Hello, and this short little video is going to go over the Medicare supplement quoting tool for the Sutherland Group quoting portal. And what you're looking at here is after you click Run Quote on the Medicare supplement dashboard screen, after you get logged into the tool, this is the page that will display. And this is the demographics page for the person you're trying to run the quote for. So there's zip code, age, gender, and tobacco status. This will run any zip code in the country, and we'll give you the corresponding city and state and county or counties that zip code is within. We're going to default to Plan F, it being the most popular plan, but you can click the drop down and it'll bring up all the plans A through N, and then you can select your effective date. Say you wanted to run today's effective date, or you wanted to run a 4/1 or a 5/1 quote. You can do so by selecting that effective date drop down. And the last two things here is if you wanted to initially apply the household discount to the rate right off the bat, you can do so. And then the client or quote label, say you wanted to personalize this quote for Mr. John Smith or your client, or you wanted to type a date in there or something like that, you can label this quote in the event that you were going to print this off or email it, or wanted to return and run it within your quote history on your page. We'll go ahead and press Get Quote. It's now going to price out these plans, cheapest to most expensive for a 65-year-old female Plan F in a 68135 zip code. As you can see on this initial page, we're going to give you some basic company information. The first is going to be the price and the company name. We'll also give you if there's a household discount or policy fee. If neither of those or only one of those apply, you only see the ones that do apply to that company for this particular plan and state. We also then give you some basic level company information like parent company, AM Best and S&P ratings, the rating type, whether it's an attained age, issue age, or community rated plan. Attained age meaning that each year the insured gets older, the price is going to go up. Issue age meaning that regardless of the age of the birth date of the insured, the price is going to stay the same. And the community rated meaning everybody pays the same rate regardless. We'll get more into that here in just a second. Below each of the company information is some additional company details. First is going to be plan details. This is just the benefits associated with that MedSup plan, the services, what Medicare pays, what this plan or Plan F would pay, and then what you or the consumer would pay. And this being Plan F, it's all zeros. This can be printed by clicking this View Printable button and attached to the quotes if you wanted to not only present the rates, but also the benefits associated with these plans. We also have some electronic and PDF application buttons, and so if you wanted to submit this business electronically, or you wanted to print off the application and do it by hand, you can do so using those two buttons for the company of that choosing. Up above here, we have our quick quote section. So let's say you wanted to change this from F to G, or you wanted to change the age from 65 to 70, or whatever you wanted to change. Rather than having to click back and forth to update that information, you can just do so on this quick quote label here. We also have a button here that will say New. And if you wanted to adjust your, if you wanted to start fresh, brand new, you can do so just by clicking that New button up in the top right-hand corner. On the left-hand side here is our toolbar. We have a few different toolbar options. The first is going to be the compare quotes. And if you wanted to, we have two different types of compares. One is the initial compare, and then one is the universal compare. The first compare quotes is going to be if you want to compare a couple of MedSup or Medicare Advantage or whatever kind of tools that you wanted to do side by side. And so if you wanted to compare a MedSup to a MedSup, that's what this compare quotes is going to do. So all you need to do is click the company name. They're going to turn green. You then click this compare quotes button. It'll put just these plans, take them away from the initial list, and it'll just show those two plans side by side that you can print or export to PDF if you wanted to share that information with your client. The next button is going to be the universal compare, and this is going to be that globe icon next to each of the companies. If you click that, they're going to turn purple. You can then run another product lines quote, so you can come up here and switch to Medicare Advantage or Final Expense, which we go over in another video. And you can then compare a MedSup next to a Final Expense or a MedSup next to a Medicare Advantage. However you want to do that compare, you can compare across product lines. The next feature down here in the toolbar is your export features. We have our print. If you wanted to put this in a printer-friendly format, the PDF button if you wanted to export this PDF and attach it to an email, or the Excel export. If you wanted to export this data into a data format, into a data Excel document, you can do so. This is where that client or quote label is going to come into effect. It will be on those outputs, so if you wanted to put their name on that PDF or printout, that's where that would come in handy. We have a few different adjust your view settings. The first is going to be expanded or contracted view. If you'd rather show them a simpler view, just the rate and the company name, you could do so by clicking that expanded or contracted view. The next button is going to be the apply discounts. If you'd rather apply the household discount to the rate, it will apply that 7 or 5 or 12% discount to the rate, and the rate will then adjust accordingly, and the order of the companies will reorder. Next one down is pretty self-explanatory. If you'd rather see the annual rate versus the monthly. And this next one down is market analytics, and this is going to have the most information. The first is going to be age increase data, and so this is for attained age policies. Like I said, we also have issue age and community rated. If it's issue age and community rated, this box will be blank, and so it won't show anything. But for attained age policies, each year the insured gets older, the rate is going to go up. So they're going to pay this person is going to pay $119.08 today, but as soon as they turn 68, it's going to go up 4.5%. And so this gives you a really good indication to your clients what they'll pay year in and year out as they get older. This next box here is going to be increased history, and this is history that's been tracked since 2010, which is when the government modernized MedSup. And so every time they've changed rates, we give you the date of the change and the percentage of change to that plan, specific to that plan and state. And that can be increase or decreases, and then we'll give you an average based upon what that history has looked like. And the last information here is market data. This is NAIC data, and the companies self-report this information each year. And so what you're looking at here is 2015 information. Every April, the previous year's information gets uploaded, just to give you a timeline of when new data comes out. But it gives you lives insured, premiums earned, loss ratios, and market share, both on a state and national basis for each company. Some will say NA. That means that the company is choosing not to report their financials to the NAIC, or that the plan is too new, that they have not reported that information yet. One thing that is important here are the loss ratios. So what this is referring to is for every dollar that company collected in premium, the percent is what they paid out in claims. So Manhattan Life nationally paid out 79 cents for every dollar they collected in premium. The higher the loss ratios, the more likely you are to see a rate increase. And so that's some information. Not everybody's always interested in it, but we want to give you the whole picture. Lastly, we have the select plans. And if you are in an area that does have select options, so you click that, the select option will come up with a label here that will say select right under the rate, letting you know that you are looking at a Medicare Select plan. The last thing here is the underwriting. If you happen to be dealing with somebody that does happen to is outside their open enrollment period and does have to go through underwriting, you can either search or scroll the underwriting conditions and select the ones that would apply to them. And these will look back conditions directly off the applications themselves. And so for heart attack, the look back period for Manhattan Life is 5 years. Therefore, if they've had a heart attack within the last 5 years, they'd have to answer yes on that application, and therefore would probably not get issued that insurance. Just gives you a really good indication or a way to find not only the best plan based upon price, but also what company would insure that person. But that's a really good introduction into the Medicare Supplement tool for the Sutherland Group. If you get into the tool and play around with it and you have questions, please click that contact support button. But after you run one or two quotes, you really become a pro at it and begin to understand how useful the tool can be. I appreciate you watching this video, and be sure to check out the other videos of the other product lines that are available through the Sutherland Group. Have a great day.